Hello everybody, my name is Stratnos, and welcome to my Great Vault video. This week could be the week that I get to 675 on a character. Here is my DK, which is my highest eye level character, even though it hasn't been killing the last few bosses on Mythic. It was my main at the start of the season, so it kind of had some, and it got really lucky with loot at the start of the season as well, including with this BOE from like the first week of Mythic. So yeah, currently 673. I believe I'm like 673.75 or something, which means that with just the 90 Gilded Crest this week, I think I can get to 675, but it would really help if I got a big item level piece out of the vault. In particular, the Test Pilot's Go Pack. That item could be in my vault, and that would go a long way. That would mean I'd get it like right now instead of having to wait until I get my Gildeds for the week. Okay, we're not going to find that. There is the Semi-Charmed Amulet. This is a really good necklace. I already have a nice haste-heavy necklace. This one is heavier haste, which is good. There's also Mr. Lock and Stock, the trinket here. Now, I do already have another 668 trinket. I have the House of Cards, actually, Mythic, but I don't have a Mythic Lock and Stock. And I already have Mythic high item level shoulders. So basically, I'm deciding between a socket or the Semi-Charmed Amulet, so I can have a more haste necklace. The thing that I don't like about that is that this necklace does have Leech on it. Mastery is probably not quite as good for DPS as Crit, and the haste is just really, really, really good for Sand Lane. I think maybe I'm just going to take the Lock and Stock, because I can then use this trinket instead of House of Cards if I don't want a defensive trinket. Because I don't really like using House of Cards on, tank spec. It's a little bit less exciting. This is also not particularly exciting as a trinket, though. I mean, it's fine. I could just take the socket. I have some good stuff to put sockets into. Yeah, neither of these actually help me get my achievement. I'm just going to go with the socket. I don't really think I need a lock and stock. I'm sure I'll pick one up randomly by the end of the season. That item is not in high demand, really. So, yeah, get a socket adding device. And, I guess I should put it in the helmet. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll roll a tertiary in the helmet, but I guess I probably won't ever in the belt, but whatever. The helmet's the one that is the most likely to randomly be worn for a while into next tier because it keeps the set bonus alive. Although, I don't think the tank set bonus is something that you're really going to want to keep very long into the new tier. Okay. Do I have an Onyx somewhere? I don't think I have an Onyx right now. I have an Amber in, but not an Onyx. That's a little embarrassing. Okay, let's get a quick Onyx in here before anybody sees. Oh, wait, no, I got an Onyx. I've got an Onyx, an Emerald, a Sapphire. Okay, I've got them all. Let's get another Versatile Emerald then. One of those is that'll probably be my best bet. Yeah, haste, really good for Sand Lane. I am in the diminishing returns for it there. If you want this add-on, by the way, that shows the bar when you get into the stat diminishing returns, that's called True Stat Value. True Stat Value. All right, here's my Paladin, 672, and probably will not be the character that gets to 675 first, but then I'll get to benefit from cheaper Gilded Crest upgrades on this character. I kind of have everything I want, except for a Mythic Bomb Suit. So I'm going to stay loot spec Prot, so I can try and get one of these bomb suits, one of the Galliwix tank trinkets. I shouldn't even really bother with this, because, I don't know. I mean, I could probably get that tank trinket anyways, because not a lot of people want it, so whenever it drops, I can get it. And I've been punished for my folly here, because there are two just absolutely garbage tank trinkets here in the vault for me on this character. Ooh, okay, yeah, I think, let me see what my other trinket situation is on my highest eye level trinket. So it looks like I don't actually have another Myth Track trinket yet. So if I was going for the achievement on this character, I should take one of these, but realistically, like, I don't want to equip either of these. My second trinket isn't even Hero Track, so I wouldn't even get crests right away from this. I'm just going to go with the socket, and, like, surely I'll get, I mean, even this Scrapfield trinket I can probably get from, actually, I can't really, because I don't kill, that boss on this character. Yeah, this character usually sits for my DK. Although maybe that'll change this week. Maybe this week I'll actually kill that boss on this character. Let's just put a socket into this belt. And how are we doing on... Yeah, right now I have I think I'm going to put an Amber in this. I just love movement speed so much. And the quick Amber is worth... Like this... People, not a lot. I don't see a lot of people wearing this gem, but like back in Shadowlands, people wore gems that were just a little bit of movement speed. This is 2% movement speed on a gem. Like that's pretty good. In addition to, you know, being 25% of a stat gem, right? Like it's giving 50 stat instead of 200, and 200 stamina, which is not nothing. It's not a lot, but like, you know, if you think about this as like 2% movement speed and 49% haste, that's pretty good. I feel like that's pretty good. I don't know. At least on things like Paladins and DKs, you have so much need for mobility on those classes because you only get around by walking around, right? On something like a DH, by contrast, you know, you can always just Infernal Strike anywhere, and so I think it's a lot less important. But yeah, especially on Paladin and DK, I'm a believer personally in the Ambers. All right, DH did a singular Keystone. Loot spec will be Vengeance because I would like the Priory Trinket, although it's pretty unlikely that we get that, but I would like it, so maybe. Okay, Disturbed Kelp Wraps instead. Yeah, we're going to take a socket. All right, we're 3 for 3 on sockets so far. Is this going to be the... There was one vault early this season where it was like 13 upgrades and 13 vaults. I wonder if today could be the mythical 13 sockets and 13 vaults. That could be it. Okay, we've got an Avoidance Helmet. Let's just socket that thing up, because that's not getting replaced. I mean, I do need the sockets as the thing. Like, these characters haven't taken sockets yet. They do need them. So here, I think I'm just going with a Versatile Emerald. Yeah. Because I don't know, I haven't simmed it, but I assume that the crit effect is not worth playing a non-haste gem. Because haste is really good. I like haste on DH. It's tough because when you sim something like that, you're not simming the defensive side of things, and it's always kind of hard to evaluate like just how much you're getting out of these different stats defensively on tanks. A lot of it requires some kind of feely craft to go into it, but yeah, I personally think that haste is a better defensive stat than it looks even on Vengeance. On Vengeance, it's a lot of people like haste, right? But I think it's even better than that for like getting you to a valuable global just in time to save yourself. All right, here's my monk. It also did a single Keystone. It also wants a Priory Trinket, the Tome of Light's Devotion. So we'll open in Brewmaster Loot Spec. Oh, there it is, easy. All right, 3 sockets, but 1 very bis trinket. This one is actually really nice for, in particular, Brewmaster, because for Brewmaster, the crit, like this gives crit when it's on the offensive mode, and crit is, of all the tanks, Brewmaster is the tank that scales the best defensively off of crit. The crit is just, like, it's a lot of stat. A lot of tanks like that trinket just because it's good for damage, but Brewmaster also gets a lot of, you get more healing from crit on yourself, which is really nice, in addition to doing a lot more damage, so... Yeah, very good pickup for the Brewmaster. Now I literally just need that trinket on my 2, like, all of my tanks, except for my 2 biggest tanks, have that mythic Tome of Light's Devotion, which is pretty funny, including my warrior, although my warrior currently is logged out in arms. I did an arms key on this character, I believe, since Shadowlands. I don't think I played any arms in Dragonflight, but it was my first arms key since Shadowlands on this character. It was a lot of fun, dude. Arms is actually pretty... I mean, I was making a lot of mistakes and stuff, but it was pretty fun. We're going to open in Loot Spec Arms because I don't want anything prot-shaped. We did kill some mythic bosses on this character in Alt Run. And, ooh, there's a Capital Punisher, but unfortunately it's on the hero track. I couldn't be on the myth track. I haven't killed Gallywix on this guy yet. So there's actually 2 pretty good items from the early bosses here. There's either this Crit Haste Ring or this Crit Haste Cloak. I think I'm going to end up taking the ring here. Eventually, I'm going to want 2 mythic rings. I guess there's a Haste Mastery Cloak as well. Maybe I should take that. I think I'm a little bit over-indexed on crit right now for prot. Like, crit is good for prot this season, but I don't think it's good at 36%, which is a little bit lower when I'm in my prot set, because... Let me switch to my prot set, because this is a crit-heavy weapon, and I'm pretty sure my prot stuff is... not crit heavy. Ooh, actually, I need to switch over to this remixed Ignition Saber. But let's not worry about that right now. Let me just put on, I guess the bomb suit as well. Yeah, or maybe not the bomb suit. Maybe just let's put on the amplifier. Okay, so let's say this is the prot set. Still 32% crit, and only I think I actually want to take this haste cloak. It's a little bit lower item level than the ring. Like I'm gaining a little bit less eye level than I am from the ring, but it's only 10 Gilded Crest difference once I get the achievement, and this is a nice haste heavy cloak. I should probably have checked the catalyst on cloak, but still, I want... If the cloak is haste heavy when it's catalyzed, I'm going to feel awful stupid about this decision. I guess that even then I would still maybe take one of the cloaks, so it wouldn't matter. Okay, it does catalyze into haste heavy, but I've changed my mind, because I would have still taken one of the cloaks, right? The ring was the only thing I could take that would be higher eye level, so we're just choosing between two cloaks that I'd probably catalyze either way anyways, so... and this one has the Mog that I guess I didn't need this Mog. Yeah, okay. Whatever. I'm not going to catalyze it just yet, I don't think, because I still might want to... Actually, how many catalyst charges do I have? Let's grab a Leeching Fangs. And... try not to fall to our death. Okay, how many catalyst charges? I think there was a new catalyst charge this week. So if I have 2... Oh, I have 3 catalyst charges. Alright, I mean, this is higher haste, lower mastery, but I don't really like mastery on Prot Warrior all that much anyways. I like crit. I like the crit a little better, even though I have a lot of crit. So let's just cast Catalyst on that thing right now. And then, yeah, it's there. It just needs to reopen to see. Yeah, cool. Alright. So a decent upgrade there for the Warrior. Alright, here's my Druid. We're going to go loot spec balance, because I have everything that I'd want from either Feral or Guardian loot specs. And I would like a nice big intellect weapon. Instead, we've got Machinist Treasured Treads, which is also fine. Myth Track Boots. Can't be too sad about that. Haste crit, or crit haste, I guess. Decent stats, although, you know, this could be a fun video where it ends up being a 30-minute video because I go and check the catalyst on all these characters every time I get something, see if I want the catalyst version of this more. Haste verse. Ooh, I do. I do want the catalyst version more. All right, let's just we'll quickly do that. And then bang. Put a Scout's March on there. Scout's March, very good. Well, so I maybe I should change my bracers to speed as well. You get a lot of speed from bracer speed. But I also do like Leech on Bear. I don't know. I like speed too, though. Okay, we're entering the DPS half of the Great Vault video. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue playing these characters for the rest of this season, because I was really excited to play this character because of the dinar system that was going to be in this patch, and I'm feeling pretty deflated now that that system is not the version that they said it was going to be. So I did a key on this character. I also did Heroic Raid, but I did those before the dinar change, I believe, was announced. So yeah, I don't know. This might be the last week you see Dratno's famed Slayer, the Chrome King, out here. Maybe it'll be account wide, in which case I'll keep doing it. But like, yeah, I was really excited to be replacing these with Myth Track raid trinkets, and without that, I mean, it's again, it's not a huge deal. It's a little bit worse, but it feels a lot worse. So yeah, this character might be donezo, but I don't know. We've got a Great Vault here with the Heroic Raid, where we're probably not going to take any items, and then the dungeon slot, where there is a mythic helmet. That's pretty good. There's a House of Cards here as well. Hero Track House of Cards and a Hero Track Mugs Moxie Jug. I mean, I do need those trinkets, but I don't know. I guess I could just buy them with stupid dinars on Hero Track anyways soon. So I don't know. Again, I'm not sure. Not sure what I'm gonna do with this character in this sad post-exciting dinars world. Hopefully Blizzard changes their mind. It's not too late for that to happen. And then this character this character's going to be very fun if I can get my hands on some nice Myth Track trinkets. Otherwise, it'll only be... It's like, the thing is, it's such a small percent difference, but it's such a huge difference in terms of how it's going to feel for me. I don't know. I'm a very loot motivated person on my ratty alts. All right, here's my Shaman. I've been mostly playing it as Resto, although I did do some Ellie in for a 2 out of 8 on this character last week. We'll say loot spec Ellie because I don't really want any healer trinkets. I already have a pick-me-up on the champ track. And let's see what we got here. Mythic Boots, pretty good. Or Mythic Helmet, also good. The Mythic Helmet, a downside is that I would lose the avoidance on my helmet right now, but I don't think that downside is big enough to offset the fact that Helmet is just such a big stat budget slot. So, yeah, we'll grab one of those. This is a character, I think even without Dinars, I'm just having fun playing Resto Shaman on this character. The thing about healers as well is I care less about, like, the gear on the healer, because, I don't know, it just feels less... it feels less bad to be down a few eye levels on a healer because you can. It's a lot more binary of like, can you heal it versus can't you, instead of like feeling like you can't hit your DPS potential, right? Like being 1% less DPS than you know you could be feels a lot worse than being 1% less healing than you know you could be, because you can still keep everybody alive in whatever I'm doing on that stupid Shaman. So yeah, I'll probably still play a decent amount of that character. Up next is my Rogue. My Rogue, I did a key and a 2 out of 8 on, so could be good items for this character as well. Loot spec Assassination, that's fine. Because I could upgrade a dagger. Wouldn't be a big deal, but I could. All right, not going to be doing that right now. Instead, we've got, all right, Mythic Shoulders. The other option here being Mythic Belt, but I already have a crafted belt. Now, the crafted belt isn't upgraded, but I'm going to go with the Shoulders. The Shoulders are going to be a nice one to chuck in the Catalyzer. And yeah, actually, maybe my Shoulders become my off piece. Oh, no, they catalyze super well. Yeah, okay. It's good stats, but it catalyzes into the same stats, so let's just do that before we forget. And I'll keep my off piece being my helmet, because this is a really high mastery helmet. And that's pretty nice. Okay, out of catalyst charges immediately upon the start of the week. Hopefully I don't get something good that I want to catalyze on this character next week and feel bad for a little while, but I guess it would just be a chest piece, because now I've got Myth Track kind of everywhere on the tier slots on this guy. This character's gotten pretty lucky with tier from vaults, and then I think I won these gloves in the 2 out of 8 I did on this character, so that's pretty lucky. All right, here's my Priest. I healed a key on my Priest, so let's see what loot that has given us. The Cloak of Questionable Intent. Okay. Yep. Can't complain about that. Any time like this, at this point in the season, all my characters have a bunch of Myth Track already. So anytime we can get a Myth Track piece, that is pretty good. Obviously, the best thing would have been... actually, the only thing that I really still needed on this character is a chest piece, so that would have been really unlikely. So even just, dodging one of the slots I already have Myth Track in, or some garbage trinket, is pretty good. Haste heavy as well. Haste crit. That's actually... Those are stats I kind of need on all my specs on this character, so... Yeah, let's grab that. And let's go with Leeching Fangs for whenever I play healer on this guy. I originally enchanted Avoidance on this character, but that was when I thought I was mostly going to play Shadow on it. And it turns out I've been healing more than playing Shadow on this character, so... Yep, bang, there we go. All right, here's my Evoker. Could use Shoulders, although I actually have Shoulders in my bags. I just didn't have a Catalyst charge until now. But I'd rather not have to use it on Champ Track. But I will if I don't get one. But yeah, Shoulders would go really hard here. Something that would really suck would be getting Pants or a chest piece. So yeah, we'll just take the Shoulders. And they're coming pre-catalyzed for me, so that is perfect. Now this character is actually ahead on Catalyst charges instead of being behind on them. That is just the best thing that could have been in there. Thanks to the, actually, 3 out of 8 that this character did. Killed Rick Reverb on it as well. But yeah, it's weird. Like this tier... Rick Reverb feels like a fair last boss for like a 4 out of 8, but it's only the 3rd boss, and then you have to be able to kill Styx to get another vault slot, and that's like... we pulled it for a little while in like a 15 guildies, 5 friends run, and it's like, this is not happening, right? Like that boss... I don't even know like when this buff goes up to 18% if Styx is going to be puggable, so... this season's going to be a lot of 2 out of 8s, I fear. But Even a 2 out of 8 can drop you... I guess a 3 out of 8 dropped me this shoulders, because I think the shoulders come from Rick. So the way that tier works from the raid, if anybody... Yeah, it is shoulders from Rick. The way that tier works from the raid vault is you can actually get tier from bosses you haven't killed. Like, even if you haven't killed Rick, you can get shoulders in your vault, but it's much less likely. So once you have actually killed the boss that drops the tier, the chance of it being in your vault goes way up, but there's still always a chance of getting the ones that you don't have unlocked just for the tier. It's like a weird rule for how tier works from the vault. Here's my Warlock. My Warlock also did a 2 out of 8, or 3 out of 8 actually. It also killed Rick Reverb on this character, and I did a key. We've got an offhand here, not a particularly exciting thing, but a carved Blazicon wax is a pretty exciting thing. This character, we are turning one pretty bad candle into a pretty good candle trinket here. I've been stuck on this stupid candle confidant for ages, and now I've got this much nicer little stat stick wax trinket here that hopefully will tide me over until Blizzard fixes dinars, and then I put on some nice dinar trinkets. All right, last character. It is my hunter. Kind of need, I guess, chest piece and pants to be the biggest things here. Let's see. We've got gloves. Okay. Can't complain about, any slot that's going from hero to myth track. Funhouse lens on hero could actually have been kind of interesting. But yeah, let's go. We'll go with the Holy Bound gloves. Medium upgrade here, but this is an interesting vault week for me because a lot of my characters got, like the first few, a lot of them took sockets, but that's kind of to be expected at this point in the season. My first few characters have very few upgrades left available for them. And then a lot of my characters actually got really big upgrades. I got my 4th Priory tank trinket that is really good on myth track, so that's pretty exciting. My trinket situation on a lot of my tanks now is like really good, where I have the myth track M+ trinkets that are hard to come by. And then a couple of other big upgrades, right? My Evoker spiked some big shoulders. This is my item levels right now. Next week, if I can get my DK up to 675, which I guess even if I can't do it this week, I'll be able to do it next Tuesday, but I think I can do that. I think I can do this right after I do some grind for some gildage right now on this character. I'm saving a lot of gilded crests. So if you look at this over here, I've got 2,252 gilded crests on my account right now that are waiting to get sent after I get that achievement. So these characters that have been, like these 7 characters have been at 661, 663 for the last few weeks, and I just haven't spent any crests, and yeah, soon all of those are getting sent. These characters are going to be all spiking to... Like, next week, I wouldn't be surprised if all of these are 670 with that gilded achievement. So that's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. Again, I'm really sad about the dinars thing, as I don't want to be too complainy in a vault video, but man, I was so excited for playing all these guys this patch with some, basically best in slot loot late in the patch, and definitely has been a damper on my enthusiasm. So I'm not sure how many of these characters I'll play this coming week, but at least my tanks are all going to be really geared really fast this season. That's nice. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope your vaults were good. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.